Hey guys, Senior Thesis Bart here with my Arrow Season 4 episodes 5, 6, and 7 review. Again, I'm just gonna loop them all into one. This one's, again, a bit of a mini arc, but not as big as one as last time. So it's Haunted, the episode where Constantine appears. I have the episode guides kind of on my side. Lost Souls, which focuses on Sarah, again, kind of, and Brotherhood, last week's episode, or this past week's episode. So, going through Haunted, we're still, I guess it'd be the one before Haunted, and Lost Souls would be the Sarah revival trilogy, if you will. But going through, we've brought back Sarah from the dead, but she's not herself. And so Sarah breaks loose. Laurel's trying to contain it all, and she's like, yo, man, I got this. And then turns out she don't got this. And so Oliver is like, why didn't you tell me about this? And Laurel's like, because I didn't want you to look down on me because you don't treat me as equals, and you've never really have. And so it was a really good character development moment because the Oliver of seasons past would have looked down on her and would have yelled at her and done the exact same thing as he did with Thea. Now, the exception with Thea was that Thea was still alive at the time. No one has brought back a dead body. They have brought back the dying, they have healed the injured, but they have never brought back the dead, especially when that's been dead for over a year. So Sarah's case was unique, still. And Oliver of seasons past would have again yelled and, if he had done the same thing, judged her. But this Oliver's like, I want to help you. I want to make sure this goes right. So he calls up Constantine, and Constantine performs it's not an exorcism, but I forget what he calls it, but a soul revival, and puts Sarah's soul back in her body. Now, in the flashbacks, Constantine also appears, showing how he and Oliver met, and they go through kind of, I guess, a Raiders of the Lost Ark adventure. And Oliver, there is the Staff of Horus, which might turn into the Claw of Horus, I believe, which might come up in Legends of Tomorrow. Anyways, Constantine reveals that the guy from the island villain of this season, is doing some dark magic stuff. And then in the future, or in the present, Oliver mentions Damien Dark as Constantine's about to leave, and he's like, I don't even want to mess with it. That's hands off. You're on your own. So that was a cool crossover. So Constantine being retroactively brought into the Flareoverse, or the Arrowverse. I like to say Arrowverse, but you gotta have the Flare. So that's really it for that episode. I gave it, I think, an 8 out of 10, just because of the crossover aspect, even though there wasn't a lot in the present. Now to the next episode, Lost Souls. That, I believe, was... Hold on. I'm going to look it up. I apologize. I actually forgot what it was about. And so, Felicity... Oh, yeah. Felicity learns that Ray is alive and then goes on a mission to rescue him while her mom comes in town. And it was really funny because you get to see domestic Oliver again. So that's always fun. And apparently he makes a mean chicken cordon bleu. But you get to see that side, and Ray's survival and Felicity's guilt kind of strains her and Oliver's relationship. But that actually worked for the better in some instances because Felicity got to talk to her mom. Oliver actually got to bond with Diggle in a really cool bro moment. So there is some good outside stories there. And on the missions, you actually get to see Sarah, and you learn that she's still dealing with the effects of being brought back from the Lazarus pit and having her soul in her. So at the end of the episode, Sarah goes off to find herself and deal with it her way. She'll be back for Legends of Tomorrow, so no problem there. And the end of the episode, they recruit, I forget what his name is, Mr. Terrific. I forget his name right now. It'll come back eventually. But they recruit him, they rescue Ray, and everything goes well. They break out. Lance has his own subplot because he's been dealing with Damien Dark, and he learns more about Diggle's brother Andy, and gets the information and gives it to Diggle. So Diggle is dealing with that on the side. And at the end of the episode, Detective Lance and Mama Smoke meet at a bar, where apparently Detective Lance is ordering a club soda because he's a recovering alcoholic. but it was funny, and people are calling that the Smoke and Lance ship, and it's out of the blue, and I love it. So I will give that episode an 8.2 out of 10 just for that. Now to this week's episode, Brotherhood was dealing with Diggle and bringing things back to the core. And so Diggle-centric stuff. It was really cool. I enjoyed it. What happened, I guess, again, Diggle learned that his brother Andy is alive, and they kind of go on a mission to rescue him. And Diggle is very against it because Diggle is the moral center of the group. He's the support pillar. He's the person everyone goes to if they need to talk, or he'll call them out and then give them the lecture. And so he's very black and white in certain kinds of moral aspects. So the fact is his brother was a bad guy. He doesn't deserve to be brought back. He doesn't need to. I don't want him to. There's other characters that had to drag him out of this and prove that you need to give your brother a shot. Laurel had a really strong scene saying, I know what you're going through. My sister was in the League of Assassins, and she came back from the dead, so I'm okay. You need to give her a chance. Oliver had a strong shot, he had a strong talk with Diggle, because he's doing the same thing where he's like, I need you to believe in your brother because I need to have that same belief in Thea and myself that you can come back from the dark and everything will be fine. And there was the third character Diggle talked to, but that's beside the point. So in the end, Diggle and Ray and pretty much everyone go and rescue. They kind of take Andy from the hive and bring him back to the base, where Diggle actually has to have a talk with his brothers. Like, is all this horrible stuff I'm reading about you true? Are you this person I didn't know about? And the brother kind of looks at it and just goes, it's true, and then turns back around because they have him in a glass case. And so Diggle's really heartbroken about that. Now on to the side plots. Thea's bloodlust is coming back. Malcolm makes an appearance and he's like, your bloodlust is coming back. We need to deal with this. And he tries to present her a kind of Dexter, if you've ever watched that show, way to deal with it by saying, here are awful people who don't deserve to live, kill them, and you'll be doing good for society, and I'll be satiating your bloodlust, so everybody wins. She doesn't take the offer because she doesn't want to be a killer, but we'll see where that goes. She does find an out because later in the episode, Damien Dark confronts her, which is a really funny scene because A, he calls her Merida, B, he recognizes her training from the League of Assassins, specifically Ra's al Ghul / Ra's al Ghul. And C, he knows that the new lead of the League of Assassins is in fact Malcolm. And so that was just kind of like a funny, like, oh crap moment. And then when he tries to suck her soul, it doesn't work. And it backfires on him. So the main popular theory I've heard is because she's been brought back from the Lazarus pit, he can't suck the souls of people who were brought back like that. But we don't know how that is or why that is just yet. So what the mechanics are. I have a slight theory, but I don't think it's that, so I'm not going to mention it. I give that episode actually a 9 out of 10 for the strong Diggle plotline. Really, really strong emotional scenes all around. And the fight choreography was off the chain. Like, they had what I believe was a one-shot where Thea fights Andy, so Diggle's brother. They're fighting. They fight into an elevator, down the floor in the elevator, and out of the elevator, all in one shot until she finally shoots him with a stun arrow. So I was just like, that is amazing. Laurel had a really strong episode. Oliver had a strong episode for, comparatively speaking, this season. And so I really enjoyed it. Brotherhood was great. Again, 9 out of 10 to 8.6 to a 9 out of 10 for that one. That's it for now. No new episodes next week, but after that we'll get back to it with the Legends of Today, Legends of Yesterday crossover, the Flare crossover to prepare us for Legends of Tomorrow. So I think that'll be it for this episode. Then I'll do my iZombie recap episodes tomorrow morning. And anything else I need to catch up. Once Upon a Time, I will do that tomorrow morning as well. So I will see you all tomorrow, and this is Senior Thesis Bart signing off.